Dr. Bob, you talk about the importance of liver and talk about some of the problems from liver congestion. How do we make sure that our liver is functioning properly, and how do we know that it's not?
Well, one of the most common body signals for liver compromise, and now this is going to sound really silly, do radishes bother you with digestion? Do green peppers bother you? Do onions and cucumbers and garlic? You say, what do you mean, Dr. Bob, do they bother me? That means when you eat those foods, in Italian, it's called agita. If you have agita from eating those foods, it's not the food. See, your liver processes everything. If your liver is not functioning optimally, some of the body signals, especially in women, include varicose veins, spider veins, hemorrhoids, bronzing on the cheek here on the left side, and cherry hemangiomas. Cherry hemangiomas are little red bumps that are usually on your breast or abdomen, but they can be anywhere in your body. That is a body signal to me of compromised liver function, because the liver makes bile. Bile is in the gallbladder. That's your reservoir bile. That is your bile is it's your dish detergent inside of your body. So, do you have a metal taste in your mouth? Queasy over the eyes. Here's a new one. Right shoulder pain. Right knee pain. There is a acupuncture meridian point on the right knee. Now, I treat bone and joint problems as a part of what I do in my practice. I've had people come into my office angry because they had right knee replacement and their right knee still hurt. And it was because their gallbladder meridian point was not functioning optimally. And now imagine you come to my office and my right knee hurts, and I'm asking you if green peppers or radishes cause pain. You're going to think I'm an absolute lunatic. But I'm Dr. Bob, and that's what I do. I find the cause of the problem. So I've had people have 2 knee replacements. I had one guy who had 3 hip replacements. It's very interesting how everything is related to the food that you eat. And by the way, side note, medial heel pain is lack of zinc in men. It's important because someone's watching us right now. They needed to hear that. Lack of zinc, which comes from eating wheat and soy. But going back to the liver and the gallbladder. So the average female in the United States today, and I've read different statistics on this, puts 126 to 150, I said one statistic, up to 500 different chemicals on their body. I have to believe it's between 126 and 150. 4 to 7 pounds of lipstick. Now, I've been married for over 36 years. Now, my wife has a habit. She gets done eating. She can do this with eyes closed. And I'm sure your wife, and I'm sure the women are smiling right now around the world watching this. 4 to 7 pounds. Be aware of what's in your lipstick and your lip balm, because whatever you put in you, especially when you take a shower, pores are open, warm temperature goes right into your lymphatic system. And the silliest thing for anybody on the planet to do is go somewhere and get spray tanned, because all those chemicals are being absorbed into your body. Your liver needs to process that. Now, there are foods that are really good for this, especially men. Listen to me right now. Broccoli. The #1 health food for men is broccoli, preferably steamed or sauteed. Yes, frequently raw, but if you look at raw broccoli and then you steam it, it becomes vibrant green.
Very green, yep.
Because the chlorophyll has been released into the fiber. So that's important. I eat broccoli nearly every day except when I'm traveling around, and I usually eat it cooked, because there are people who will say that broccoli is a goitrin, it compromises subpar thyroid function, but only 14% of the people in the United States today get enough fruits and vegetables anyway, and trust me, it's not all broccoli, and 1/3 of the world does not have enough subpar thyroid function, so I don't believe that's a true statistic. But men need to eat broccoli because men are exposed to too much estrogen. So men listening to me right now and watching me, you want to eat broccoli on a regular basis. Broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower, cruciferous vegetables that have sulfur in them. Sulfur combines with estrogen. You also want to eat protein. I promote eggs, of course, animal protein, preferably organic. But eggs, onion, and garlic, the same foods that promote liver function, are a source of sulfur. Sulfur and protein combine with the toxins in phase 1 and phase 2 of liver detoxification. If you've had your tonsils out, now I had my tonsils out because everybody did that were baby boomers in 1962. Just we went to the factory and they took them out. Your tonsils are the storehouse for sulfur. So if you had your tonsils out, you don't have a storehouse for sulfur. So you want to make sure you eat eggs, onion, and garlic on a regular basis. And by the way, parasites do not like to live in a body that has adequate sulfur in it. It's a little interesting nugget. So if you had your tonsils out and you don't like eggs, onion, and garlic because your liver is compromised, you want to eat Dr. Bob's apple, beet, and carrot. This apple is so important. Everybody should be eating at least a half a red apple every day, preferably organic. I know this is a plum, but for the purpose of the program, you want to eat at least a third cup of organic beet every day to lower your cholesterol 40%, 4 or 5 baby carrots or 1 medium carrot. I want you to be aware of the medications that you're taking. Statin drugs, the #1 side effect is liver disease. Now I'm going to throw some interesting nuggets out to you now. If you have sweaty, smelly feet, and I used to have sweaty, smelly feet because I used to drink alcohol. But by the grace of God, I stopped drinking alcohol in the early 1990s because I knew what it was doing to me, and it wasn't doing a whole lot of good stuff. But I used to have cherry hemangiomas. I used to have sweaty armpits on my T-shirts, and my feet, take my shoes off, the wallpaper would peel off. So I made this wise choice to stop doing that. I said, Dr. Bob, where are you going with this one? Well, if you have smelly feet, it's telling me that your kidneys are compromised. See, your kidneys become your second liver. If your liver is compromised, your kidneys are a detoxifying organ. It has to work harder. But if your kidneys are getting compromised, your feet are the next aspect. Then, of course, your skin's a part of that also. So if you have sweaty, smelly feet, and you have high blood pressure, and even a vitamin D problem, because see, the kidneys have a lot to do with vitamin D also. And then your liver is the storehouse for vitamins A, D, E, and K. So if you have these body signals right now, and you know what? Patients and people have these little skin tabs around their neck right here, and they get them taken off with laser, guess what happens? They come back. People who have their hemorrhoids fixed, if they don't fix their liver, they come back. The blood flows through your legs, up through your liver, on the way to your heart. If your liver is compromised, you're going to have hemorrhoids. If your liver is compromised, you're going to have varicose veins. There are vein stripping clinics today with laser, and you can have it done. I'm going to tell you right now, unless you fix the good old liver, it'll be back. They'll be back. Same with skin tabs. If you're starting to notice multiple birthmarks or nevi or moles on your body, it's a body signal to me that your liver is not functioning optimally. Do you see yellow around the white part of your eye? That's a body signal to me that your liver is not functioning optimally. Now I'm going to throw a whole nother concept out right now when it comes to liver. This is for men in prostate cancer. I had the opportunity a couple years ago to be on stage with John Gray. He wrote Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. And I was just listening to this gentleman. He was very articulate, and he said something that forever impacted me. He said, gentlemen that are 55 years or older, you more than likely have higher estrogen in your body than your wife does. So we have the ability through a galvanic skin response to test men for estrogen and testosterone in our practice. So I listened to that, not to be funny. Men will have man boobs, breasts start to grow. They're waking up 2 or 3 times a night because their prostate is enlarged and they're urinating. But I have made this statement before, and we don't need any hate email, please. Men that golf have a greater potential to have prostate problems than men who do not golf. I don't golf. I used to golf a little bit, but I choose not to golf for a lot of reasons. First, it takes a lot of time. But what do they do to fairways?
Fertilize everything.
They spray them. Now, not to be silly, but on weekends, a man's going to go out golfing. In a town, we call them, they wear their guinea tees, their sleeveless T-shirts, you know. They always buy a cigar. Not always, but, you know, we're just having fun right now. So they go out with their T-shirts, you know, and they're going to go hit the ball. They have the cigar, and if the dew of the morning is kicking up, you're breathing that in. And then if you have a blade of grass or dirt on your golf ball, some men will lick the blade off, and then they're going to go up to the putting green. What are they going to do with their cigar? They're going to put it on the ground, and then they're going to putt, and then afterwards they're going to have an event. They're going to eat. toxic meat, drink too much beer. You could do that once in a while. But I have an acquaintance of mine that does that 5 days a week. Not all the details. So I assessed him. He's 67 years old. His testosterone was down here. His estrogen was on the top. When I assessed him, his swollen prostate, and they want to take his prostate gland out. And I explained to him all this was going on. So he's never lost hope, but his liver was compromised. Too much estrogen. See, we live in a sea of estrogen, xenohormones. We're exposed to it. So I jokingly say to people, don't drink the water. Oh, Dr. Bob, don't drink the water. What do you mean? Well, the research in America today is water, for years and years and years, I could never figure out why do people flush their drugs down the toilet. So in the last 6 months or a year in America, we had this epiphany. Hey, we better stop flushing drugs down the toilet. Not because of what it's doing to the environment, because we don't want kids using the drugs, but somewhere along the line, somebody figured out that all these drugs eventually end up in our water supply. We have antiquated municipal systems today that are trying to process. The first line is the fecal material settles to the bottom and they throw some chlorine on it. It's like they're not purifying our water. They're getting rid of particles, but it's really quite toxic. So if you're drinking water, I don't drink tap water. I drink reverse osmosis water. I use Celtic sea salt and minerals because reverse osmosis water takes all the chemicals out. It might tend to be a little bit on the acid side. I don't promote distilled water. I have friends of mine that do muscle testing, and they've told me when they do muscle testing on people that tends to short circuit the body. I know there's a lot of water out there, a lot of structured water. Whatever anybody else is doing is fine. That's just what I choose to do. But this is it right here, the liver. So some takeaways from this. Of course, you want to do Dr. Bob's ABCs. Half a red apple every day, third cup of organic beets. Raw, grated organic is the best. You could bake them. How do you bake them? You cut them up, put some balsamic vinegar on them, some Celtic sea salt, olive oil, rice oil, coconut oil, 400 degrees for an hour or until fork tender. And of course, the carrots. You want to make sure you're eating sulfur-based foods. Men, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. Ladies, the same. But men, see, let me stop for a moment. Women have the ability in their body to process estrogen. Men, our bodies aren't designed to process the magnitude of estrogen that's in the environment today. That's huge. A lot of people don't realize that. And we're exposed to as much estrogen as everybody else is. It's kind of frightening, actually. Excuse me. You want to eat protein, sulfur-based foods, Applebee's carrots, minimize or eliminate alcohol. If you're going to drink alcohol, drink organic alcohol because of all the chemicals they spray, once again, herbicides and pesticides. I would try to eat as much organic that I possibly can. And if you're going to do strawberries, always organic because strawberries are like one of the most herbicided and pesticide of all fruits. If you do that, minimize dairy products. And something for the ladies to do out there right now. This is PM, preventative maintenance. Buy a 55-centimeter ball and start bouncing on it every day because that's going to promote lymphatic movement in the body. See, the lymphatic system is the sewer system that ends up into your liver. So if you're watching me right now and you've had cancer and they told you that it spread to your lymphatic system, that is not entirely bad. Listen, I'm going to word this to you. See, your lymph system is doing its job. It eats on unfriendly bacteria. So the preventive maintenance, for those of you who want to prevent cancer, you want your lymph nodes to process constantly. That's why you want to drink water. The water keeps that lymphatic system going. Dairy products congest the lymphatic system. A compromised liver is going to back up into the lymphatic system. So when they tell you that the cancer spread to your lymph nodes, it really hasn't spread per se. The lymph nodes are doing their job. It's kind of like being at a large superstore on Black Friday and everybody is there trying to get their merchandise and they can't process them fast enough. So my heart to those of you, this has happened already, but if you have a family member, you see, when a family member has cancer, everybody thinks genetically the family's going to get cancer. If you go to the club that everybody goes to every Friday night and eat the same fish and do the same thing, you're going to get what they have. My wife and I made the choice to change what we do. So we drink water from pure source. We eat as much organic that we possibly can. I know there could be some people watching us right now and say, oh, Dr. Bob, organic is so expensive. It's not. Even the major box stores today are selling organic. You buy things on sale. You can save 50% on your food budget just by doing something very novel. You know what that is? Cooking yourself at home. and you'll keep your body functioning optimally, and it'll flourish forever.